snow across Scotland. Gale force winds, temperatures dropping to -15, that's what we're re-looking at. I've examined the latest models from the Met Office and the ECMWF, and what we are witnessing is a classic Atlantic battle. The mild air that has been sitting over southern parts of the country for the past fortnight is about to clash head-on with Arctic air pushing down from Scandinavia. And when these two air masses meet, we get drama. Not the sort of drama you see on the news with people panicking about a centimetre of snow, but proper winter weather that deserves your attention. Right now, the contrast across the United Kingdom couldn't be starker. The Scottish Highlands saw temperatures drop to -8 this morning, bitterly cold with a sharp wind. Meanwhile, central Cornwall is experiencing temperatures near double figures. That's the difference of nearly 20 degrees Celsius across the country. That spread is about to compress as Arctic air pushes south. Across the southwest from Cornwall through Devon and into Somerset, it's been mild and damp. Temperatures running 5 to 8 degrees above the seasonal average. Somerset saw flood warnings this morning after heavy rainfall. That mild, unsettled air mass has been sitting over the region for days. In Wales, it's been wet. Near record rainfall in places this week. Heavy rain warnings across much of the Principality. That changes dramatically starting tonight. Moving to the Midlands, Birmingham and surroundings have been quiet. Temperatures hovering around 7 degrees, grey skies. Rather dull for winter weather enthusiasts, the sort of weather that makes you forget what month we're in. That extended mild spell ends over the next 48 hours. Devon has enjoyed pleasant weather for the past fortnight, mild and dry, temperatures reaching 10 or 11 degrees most days. That's going to feel like a distant memory by Thursday. And then there is East Anglia, rather boring conditions in recent weeks. Not much to write home about. This pattern shift has potential. West Wales was seeing rain this morning. Some areas in the hills are already reporting sleet starting to settle. That is how quickly this transition is happening. The boundary between rain and snow is pushing eastwards, and by tonight, significant parts of Wales will be dealing with snow rather than rain. Let me walk you through the meteorology. We have a deep Atlantic low-pressure system currently positioned about 300 miles west of Ireland. Pressure at the centre is 960 millibars. That is a significant depression. This low is moving eastwards, and as it does, it is drawing mild Atlantic air northwards across southern Britain. At the same time, high pressure over Scandinavia is feeding cold Arctic air southwestwards across Scotland and northern England. The boundary between these two air masses, what we call a frontal zone, is where the action happens. Along this boundary, we re-seeing significant precipitation. In the mild air to the south, that S falling as rain. In the cold air to the north, that S falling as snow. And the position of this boundary is absolutely critical. According to the Met Office, the frontal system will sweep eastwards tonight and tomorrow. The ECMWF model is in strong agreement with this timing. The GFS model shows a slightly slower progression, but all models agree on the general pattern. What we are looking at is a textbook example of a polar maritime air mass displacing milder Atlantic air. Let's talk about tonight first, because tonight is when things deteriorate rapidly. The rain system that has been affecting Wales and Western England moves eastwards. By around 8 or 9 o'clock this evening, rain reaches London and the southeast. And this isn't light rain. We're reforecasting heavy rainfall across many areas. Wales and Western England could receive 15 to 20 millimetres. Some exposed areas in Snowdonia could see 25 to 30 millimetres. That is a month's worth of rain in 12 hours for some locations. For Scotland, you're already in the cold air. Tonight will be bitterly cold. Temperatures dropping to -5 to -8 Celsius in the Highlands, -3 to -5 across the central belt. And with the strong easterly wind, the feels like temperature will be considerably lower. We re-talking -12 to -15 in exposed areas. That S proper cold. Northern England sits right on the boundary. Manchester and Liverpool will see rain tonight, heavy at times. Winds strengthening to 45 to 55 miles per hour. But across the Pennines and into Yorkshire, that rain transitions to sleet and then snow. Above 300 metres, snow is certain. Above 500 metres, we could see 10 to 15 centimetres by morning. Wales faces the worst of the precipitation tonight. The mountains of Snowdonia will see significant snowfall. We are forecasting 20 to 30 centimetres above 600 metres. Even at lower levels, 300 to 400 metres, 5 to 10 centimetres is likely. Roads across North Wales will be treacherous by morning. The A5, the A55, particularly exposed sections will be difficult. The Midlands will see heavy rain tonight. Birmingham, Nottingham, Leicester expect 15 to 20 millimetres. Surface water on roads is likely. The M6, M1 and M42 will be wet and spray will reduce visibility. Drive carefully, reduce speed, keep your distance. London and the southeast, you will see rain arriving between 8 and 10 o'clock this evening. Heavy bursts, possibly thundery. 20 to 25 millimeters through the night. It'll be wet and windy. Southeasterly winds gusting to 55 to 60 miles per hour. Not pleasant. And the winds. This is important. Coastal areas in the west and southwest could see winds reaching 60 to 70 miles per hour tonight. Those are very strong wind conditions. Ferry services across the Irish Sea will be disrupted. The Western Isles already experiencing severe gales. Winds there could gust to 80 miles per hour. Stay indoors if you're in that area. Tomorrow, Wednesday, the 21st of January, will be a challenging day for many. The heaviest rain will be in northeast England. If you are in Newcastle, Sunderland, or Middlesbrough, prepare for a very wet day, 30 to 40 millimeters of rain. Persistent, heavy, and accompanied by strong winds. Winds across the region will be 40 to 50 miles per hour, gusting higher on the coast. The A1 will be wet. The Tyne Bridge will be exposed to crosswinds. Allow extra time. Scotland, you'll be in the Arctic air fully by tomorrow. Temperatures struggling to reach 2 to 4 degrees Celsius across the central belt, 1 to 3 degrees in the Highlands. With the wind, it'll feel like -5 to -8. Snow showers will affect western and northern coasts. Heavy at times, 5 to 10 centimeters possible in places. The A9, particularly north of Perth, will see snow showers. Roads will be icy. Grit will help, but drive with extreme caution. Wales sees the transition tomorrow. The rain eases, but you are left with snow lying on the ground. Snowdonia could have 30 to 40 centimeters by mid-morning. Roads across the mountains will be impassable without winter tires or four-wheel drive. Don't attempt those routes unless absolutely necessary. Temperatures tomorrow in Wales will be 3 to 5 degrees Celsius at lower levels, 0 to 2 degrees in the hills. The snow one to be melting. Northern England, you are in the transition zone. Rain continues across Lancashire and Greater Manchester through the morning, then eases. But the Pennines and Yorkshire Dales will have significant snow lying. The M62 Trans-Pennine route will be difficult. Snow, ice, and strong winds. High-sided vehicles will struggle. Consider alternative routes if possible. The Midlands will be cloudy and wet. Rain easing through the day, but temperatures only 6 to 7 degrees Celsius. Winds 35 to 45 miles per hour. Not a day for unnecessary travel. If you can work from home, do so. London and the southeast, the rain clears by mid-morning, but it stays cloudy and windy. Temperatures 8 to 9 degrees Celsius, winds 40 to 50 miles per hour. The Dartford crossing, the QE2 bridge, will have restrictions for high-sided vehicles. Plan accordingly. Cornwall and Devon, you'll see some brighter spells tomorrow afternoon. The rain clears earlier than further east, temperatures 9 to 10 degrees Celsius. Still breezy, but nothing like tonight. You're getting off relatively lightly compared to further north and east. Now, for those who remember the Great Storm of '87, you will know what proper wind looks like. Back then, we had gusts exceeding 100 miles per hour. 18 people lost their lives. Millions of trees felled. The current situation is less extreme. Tonight, S winds, while strong, are not unprecedented. You've seen worse. Similarly, those of you who lived through the winter of 62 to 63 will remember what proper cold looks like. That winter, temperatures remained below freezing for weeks, the coldest since 1740. Snow from Boxing Day through to March. What we're re-experiencing now is a cold snap, yes, but it's not the big freeze. The Burns Day storm of 1990 saw gusts of 107 miles per hour, 47 deaths across the UK. Tonight S system, while significant, is not at that level. I mention these comparisons not to downplay what S coming, but to give you perspective. This is significant winter weather. It deserves attention. It requires preparation. But it's not the end of the world. Let's talk about what you should do. If you are traveling tonight or tomorrow, allow extra time. Rail services across the north and Scotland will face delays. Some cancellations are likely, particularly on exposed routes. The West Coast Main Line could see disruptions. Check before you travel. Have a backup plan. If you're re-driving, carry essentials. A blanket, warm clothes, water, food, a charged phone. If you get stuck in snow, these basics could make a significant difference. In your car, keep a scraper, de-icer, and a small shovel if you have one. Cardboard or an old carpet under the tyres if you get stuck. It works. Many of you already know this. For those in Scotland and Northern England dealing with snow, don't just grit once. You will need to do it multiple times. Or better yet, wait until Wednesday evening when the worst has passed. Gritting too early just wastes your supply. High-sided vehicles, lorries, caravans, be extremely cautious on bridges and exposed sections of road. The Severn Bridge, the Forth Bridge, the Humber Bridge, all will have crosswinds. Slow down. Both hands on the wheel. For elderly relatives or neighbours, check on them. Temperature swings, cold snaps, these affect older people more. A quick phone call, a knock on the door, offer to pick up some shopping. Small gestures make a difference. If you have respiratory problems, asthma, COPD, high humidity combined with cold can trigger symptoms. Carry your inhaler. Stay warm. Layer up before going outside. The temperature shock from a warm house to freezing outdoors can be dangerous, particularly for those with heart conditions. Hill walkers, climbers, those planning to head into the mountains, don tea. Not this week. Conditions up there are far more severe than at lower levels. Winds in the Highlands could reach 70 to 80 miles per hour on the peaks. Visibility will drop to near zero in snow showers. Wind chill will take the feels like temperature below -20. That's life-threatening if you are unprepared. Wait, the mountains will still be there next week. Looking ahead to Thursday the 22nd and Friday the 23rd, the pattern continues. Scattered showers and wind, though lighter than Wednesday. Temperatures remain low, 3 to 6 degrees across most of England and Wales, 0 to 3 in Scotland, feeling colder in the wind. But here's the interesting bit, and I say interesting with a touch of concern. The weekend and into next week, there are signs that even colder air will push in from the northeast. The models are showing a blocking pattern developing over Scandinavia, high pressure building. That would direct Arctic air straight down from the Norwegian Sea. If that develops as the models suggest, we could see a more sustained cold spell. Temperatures could drop further, snow could become more widespread, even at lower levels. We're talking -10 to -12 in Scotland, -5 to -8 in northern England, 0 to -2 in the south. That would be a significant cold event. Now, I must stress this is still uncertain. The ECMWF and the UKMO models are in reasonable agreement, but the GFS is showing a slightly different evolution. The confidence level for the weekend and next week is lower than for the next 48 hours. We need to watch how this develops. I'll be monitoring the models closely, but if you're replanning anything for the weekend, particularly outdoor events, have a contingency. If you are traveling long distances, keep an eye on the forecasts. This could change. For farmers, livestock, if that cold spell materializes, you will need to prepare. Water troughs will freeze, animals will need additional feed. Shelter, you know the drill better than I do, but plan ahead. To summarize, tonight heavy rain sweeps eastwards. Strong winds, particularly in the west and on coasts. Snow across Scotland, northern England hills and Wales. Significant accumulations in places. Treacherous driving conditions developing. Tomorrow, very wet in northeast England. Cold across Scotland, snow showers in places, windy across the board, not a day for unnecessary travel. If you can stay home, do so. Thursday and Friday, the worst eases, but it stays cold and unsettled. Scattered showers, still windy, still feeling rather unpleasant. The weekend into next week, potential for even colder conditions. This is uncertain, but the signs are there. Keep checking the forecasts. This is winter in Britain. The weather changes faster than you can believe. What is forecast today might evolve by tomorrow. I am giving you the best information available right now based on the Met Office data and the European model outputs. But weather doesn't read the forecast. It does what it does. Prepare sensibly. Don tea panic. Respect the conditions. Look after your neighbours. And remember, you've seen this before. You've dealt with it before. You'll deal with it again. Check the detailed updates on the Met Office website. The Environment Agency has flood information, CPA for Scotland, natural resources, Wales for Wales. Use those resources. Keep warm, keep dry, stay safe. I'll update you again tomorrow evening with the